Okay. So, but you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Cindy, so now it's the floor is yours. So you can ask some people to give their feedback and start the stand-up.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's such a wonderful thing to see all of you here. And as we wait for the others to join us, yesterday was day one. And right now we'd like to figure out what did you do yesterday? What worked well? What didn't work? What are you looking forward to today? And I'd really like to hear from a few of you. Vincent, I can already see your video is on and you're like ready to talk and unleash some feedback on us. Would you go first? What did you do yesterday? What worked for you? What's the thing that stood out most for you? What do you hope to do better? You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, yesterday was really a busy day for most of us, as I would think. Me personally, the fact that we just got to the meeting and then the lectures begin just straight away, it disorganized me. Like I expected some introductory. Normally the first day is always introductory. Things get a little slow, but I realized that it's a little different with 10 Academy. And I was up until 4. I remember I was submitting my last work at around 2:35 when it was supposed to be submitted like 2 hours earlier. But I didn't mind. I just decided to give a submission because it had taken me long, working on it. But still, I am able to note that I didn't get through it. Like, so I really understand that 10 Academy is, it requires a lot of hard work, as you suggested. And then, like some of us are still students, so working on the schoolwork at 10 Academy, and just several things that is going on in our lives. I think it was a great challenge, but from my side, I'm positive about it. I think I just need to adjust some few nuts to get to pace, and hopefully it's going to work out for me and for most of us who have the same attitude. So I'm really challenged and I take it positively, and I am up to task, and that is all I can say for now. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Vincent. And I noticed that, if I hear you correctly, you say it was a lot more fast-paced than you expected. You thought it was going to be just easing into it, but then it's like 1, 2, go, and you're gone, and you're like, whoa, yeah? But you're up to the task, you say?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you for sharing, Vincent.
Okay.
Then, sound is okay. Okay, great. I can also see Sebagabo Jean Aime. Do you have any feedback on yesterday? What surprised you? What you're looking forward to today? What are some of the challenges you had?
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Jean.
Yeah. Thank you. Yesterday, it was really great. It was fantastic to attend these courses because it was my first time to attend these online classes, which shows us a great path which we have to follow. Me, I'm already finished with my bachelor degree. It means that I have time to attend this, and I'm willing to work hard so that I can get something to go to the market. So, thank you for providing this program to help many to shape our minds, shape our future, and sharpen everyone here who attend this program. So, I hope that everyone who willing to work hard through this program of yours will get more to go to use whatever he wish or she wish to go. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Jean. I'd like to hear from a lady now, especially when it comes to how you found the whole rocket chat thing. Kate Njoki, I can see you. Are you in a position to speak? Because Rocket Chat is probably new for a lot of us. How do you find the whole process of tutoring and Gmate and Rocket Chat? Is there something that you wish we could do differently? How are you finding it, Kate?
Hi. I haven't yet used Rocket Chat, only this morning, but I will definitely be using it more because I have a few challenges with yesterday's assignment, especially the last part of the task, which was on Travis the YML. I don't know who I should contact for that because I was really unable to push it to the GitHub. What? Something. I'm still new at GitHub, but yeah. Who would I contact for that? The tech side of things.
I think you're muted, Cindy.
Sorry, apologies. Thank you for that. Kate, we do have a channel called Tutoring on Rocket Chat, and that's where you'll find most of your tutors present. I'm curious, haven't you joined Rocket Chat before? Is it that you were unable to, or you didn't know how to use it? What's happening there? Because that's our main channel of learning, apart from the Gmate.
Yeah, I did join yesterday. Today
Okay.
morning is I was trying to answer around the quiz. There's a quiz chat, there's a chit chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Keep checking those channels because they're very supportive. A lot of questions and answers are given there, and you will get a community of people going through this journey with you as well. So being
Yeah.
an active part of it is that's important. Okay, Kit?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and if you face any challenges at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me or to Kevin, or we'll find a way to forward whatever issue you're facing. Okay, I need two more people who want to give us feedback on what they found yesterday. Is there someone who wants to? Tadase Kebede. Okay, do you want to unmute yourself and tell us? Where are you? Tadase, I think you said you could raise yours. Okay, as Tadase, I don't know if you're speaking, but you're muted. Okay, Charles, you've raised your hand. Is there something you'd like to add?
Good morning, everyone. First of all, concerning yesterday's activities, I would really say I was challenged throughout the activities, from the first class, from the introductory class to the last class, simply because I was never prepared for this, for the training. I'd always thought that the training was going to be something as easy as what I had studied in school. But yesterday, I discovered that I had to put in more work. I had to do a whole lot because I also discovered that it requires 30% training and 70% of my time, putting a whole lot of my time into it. So I was really challenged, and I understood the essence of putting in a whole lot of work into it if I really need to achieve what I want to achieve. And I'm really grateful for 10 to 10 Academy for giving me this opportunity. And that is it. Thank you.
Okay, Charles, before I release you, what are some of the blocks that you feel you're facing? Are there any challenges, or so far it's hard work, but you're good?
Okay. Aside from the hard works, I discovered that the time frame for the assignment, the task to be taken, as in to complete our task, was is a little bit time constraint, because you really need to complete a certain task, even though you don't know what you are supposed to do, but you have to learn whatever you need to do in order to complete that task. And secondly, the quiz. I didn't even know that we're supposed to submit the quiz at an earlier time than the tax. So I really think we need to disseminate information properly, as in more effectively, on rocket chat,
Yeah.
because most of us are a little bit confused when it comes to the assignments, the tasks, and the quiz.
Okay. So you feel, if I understand you correctly, that the time given to finish the quiz and assignments is very small, and you still aren't very clear on what you're supposed to be doing. So it's a bit
Yeah,
overwhelming.
yeah, and I believe with time,
Yeah.
I believe we're going to cope.
Okay. So were you able to finish your quiz and submit it on time and your assignment?
No, my quiz, I couldn't even do my quiz because I didn't know I was supposed to submit my quiz at that time. So I actually pleaded for a time grace from my tutor. I'm hoping that he's going to grant me that grace.
Okay.
Cindy, I just wanted
okay,
to jump
thank
in.
you for that.
Cindy, I just want to jump in really briefly. So I think it's a really important point. We've made an effort to put the daily schedule up on the Google site, and that's your single version of the truth. What is due when? Check the schedule. Rocket Chat will get busy. A lot of people will be making different contributions. If you don't know exactly what is due when or where to be, check the Google site and the schedule. And that's the reliable version of the truth. And it's our job to keep that up to date. Recognizing that it was day one, we didn't get everything right either. So we're doing our best, but that's our commitment to you. Check the Google site. That schedule is it's the single version of the truth from our side. What's due? When is it due?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And I would also appeal that the Google Sheets can be resent, because I wasn't granted access to mine yesterday, and I don't know if it is still having issues. I don't know if I'm just the only one.
Okay, thank you for that. Charles, perhaps check again. If you still can't access it because we already published it, if you still can't access it, please just let me know. We'll figure out what's happening in the back end and sort you out. Yes?
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Diana has her hand raised, and she's one of the only two ladies that we have. Diana, are you in a position to say something?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Hi, Diana. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, so I think my major challenge was the fact that when they were doing the introduction of the technical part, it was just going through it roughly. It was not in depth. When it came to the quiz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when it came to the quiz, when I was doing it, it's because I had a bit of background in Python. That is why I was able to at least do the bit of GitHub. But when he was training, it was just like he was just going through it, just basics. So I think most of us maybe had a challenge because this day was just introduction. So we didn't really think that we were going to be tested on the introduction part, like when he was teaching us about GitHub, Git. So I think that was the challenge. So my take is that when moving forward, I think all of us as trainees, we need to take each thing that you're being trained seriously, because it's not going to be repeated, and it's not just if you do introduction, there's going to be a follow-up on it. So that is something that took home. Yeah, indeed, even if it was just an introduction, I had to pay more attention to it.
Okay, so Dan, if I hear you correctly, you're saying that you and a lot of your colleagues were gearing up for a more chill, more relaxed introductory day, but you're not expecting to be thrown off the deep end, and that the introductory class you were given was not as in-depth, which means that a lot of you may have struggled with it. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yes,
Dan, is that it?
When we were being trained about Git, when we were being trained about Git, it was just like he was going through the different Git commands. So for me, I was just thinking like now we are going to have a later on discussion on them, only to find that they're also in the quiz. So yeah, it was a bit. So we need to be really keen during the training, because most of the things that were asked, he was actually talking about them. But since personally my mentality was that this is just an introduction, it's going to be addressed later. I didn't pay much attention to it. Yeah, actually, the thing that saved me is the fact that I had a bit of knowledge when it came to it, so it was easy for me to do the tasks.
Okay, so essentially what you're saying that it's mostly on you and a lot of your colleagues who may not have been paying as much attention as you thought, and you thought it was going to be addressed later, but then you're given a quiz with the things you're taught, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Diana. And I want to hand over the mic, but just before I hand over the mic, the number of things that I'd like for us to remember is that the mode of training is very different from how we're trained in college. Okay, we don't have 4 years to go through the content. We have around 3 weeks, which means that a lot of it you're going to have to really commit to using self-learning, and we have put a number of resources on the Google Classroom. Okay, both the Google Classroom and the Google site. In fact, if you have a computer, as I have done in mine, I have pinned those tabs on my computer so that I don't always have to look for them. You can easily access them. And if there's a challenge, it's very likely that the resources are already uploaded, and we will keep on uploading them as we go. But again, as we mentioned, if you have any challenges, please do not die alone. It's not supposed to be a lonely, tiresome, overwhelming experience. The team is here to support you. Your colleagues are here to support you. When you succeed, we succeed, and we want everyone to have the best shot possible at being a very capable tech talent, right? So how do you access Google Classroom resources? We keep on putting up announcements over there, but the resources are mostly in the Google site. On the tab up there, you'll find somewhere something called resources, and you should be able to access them. Okay. Remember, we always also put in announcements on Rocket Chat. If you're not on Rocket Chat, you're not fully enrolled, because that's where the learning happens. So, Arun, perhaps I'll just hand it back to you, and then if there's anything else I've forgotten to address, you could probably cover that for me as well. Thank you, everyone, and I'm excited to have you again for day 2.
So nothing much from my side. Just to say thanks everyone for being here. It's only been one day. We've made a lot of progress. Our mode of instruction, as Cindy said, is collaborative. So if you have a question, ask your question in the tutoring channel, and we'll find a way to answer that question. So that's all from my side. Have a lovely day. We'll see you guys.
No, sorry.
No, I was just handing over to you.
Okay.
No, that's yours.
Good. Okay. No, it's because I just wanted to give some comments, so that's why. I think Tadessa he has been raising his hand since the beginning, so maybe I'll just give you to give just your summary, and then I will give also my comments just on what I've noticed from yesterday's submissions as well as questions. So Tadessa, just you can go. We are unable to hear you if you are speaking. Yeah, now you seem to, but then it went out. It's in your mic, the issue, it seems. Yeah, we can't hear you. Maybe can you type?
We still cannot hear you.
Yeah, maybe type while I was.
If you can.
Yeah.
Could you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Are you speaking?
Hello.
Yes. If that was.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yesterday we had a good time. Especially, I like the way you briefing, the way you teach, the resource you have distributed. But I face one challenge. I were in my home. There is an election yesterday in Ethiopia, and I were in my home to use my phone. I bought 4 gigabytes by my mobile, and I have connected by hotspot to the PC. I am trying to access your tutorial, but I face many challenges in doing especially those GitHub issues, because it needs a connection, good connection. Even though I have bought good megabyte, the service is not good. So I'm really sorry for missing the GitHub workers. I have done my queues partially, and I have submitted my CV. But after that, it is so busy. I'm trying in the around 3 p.m. I am trying my good. Actually, I haven't submitted that one. So could I proceed to learn this one? Starting from today, I moved to somewhere and I am online 7/24 hour. So could I proceed? Is I am can I succeed if I proceed starting from today? Because I am just trying to do that the things that I missed yesterday by today, including the today's challenge. But the thing is, the due date is already left. So what's your recommendation for me? Yes, thank you, Doctor, for giving me an opportunity to raise my question.
Great. So I think this is exactly also what I am gonna comment, in a sense that I think the whole point, if you look at the tasks, they are connected in a way that without doing one, you will not do the other. And it's also the way that I think we have, like, just to make it clear our position, we just want you to submit. And if after you submit, if you have to like edit in the thing, the timestamp is there, we will know. So just work on it. Like, don't worry about the part. So the things that you should really pay attention is that we want job readiness means that someone is kind of able to deliver in the time that they are told to deliver, because it could be just like for a client, we have to give a presentation. In that case, we have to just give the state of the task, for example. So that means you have to submit whatever it is. For example, yesterday, the simplest task one could do was just fork, because we said, okay, in the first part was just fork the GitHub. There's no need of anything. There's no, like, you didn't have to do anything. You just, if you have a GitHub account, you just go to the browser and you fork it. Then you could submit that one because you are at that state. And then if you do the next part, great. If you do the next part, great. But it isn't about like, oh, we want to evaluate you. No, it is about we want to do. So this week 0 is trying to see who's kind of following or he's kind of can be ready in very short time for a job. And we know that all of you could be ready for a job in a extended period of time. But the point is that because we have this principle, okay, we have 3 months and we have a very limited resource, limited tutors, limited spots. Therefore, within that, who's going to be kind of ready for a job such that, that we kind of transition from you from like being a training now in 3 months to job ready. So that demands certain requirement. But the very simple truth is just that you follow what we say. But then on top of that, the most important thing you have to do is to keep doing what you're doing. Even after submission, improve it. Because the next day, you will benefit from it. Because now, the next job, the task today is, what does it do? You will use those codes and analyze the data. So now if you just submitted a broken link yesterday and it's not working, today also you're going to submit a broken link again that doesn't work, right? So that means you're actually not going to make it. So the point isn't, so the value that we'll have yesterday is going to be just rolling, and it's not going to be influenced. Your whole entire, like the week is not going to be influenced by that only. It's your performance, how you kind of pull off from like sometimes like not having internet to read it the next day, completing everything, because when you didn't have internet, probably, you tried your best, but after that you at least thought about it, how to do it, you kind of planned, you make the strategy. And then the next day when you have internet, you kind of, went over and kind of did everything. So that's the spirit that we want. And it isn't about the missing of like a given hour, a given day. Definitely, of course, some things are impossible, right? If you miss like 3 days, it's unlikely that you would make it, because we can't see it, like, because, we can only judge based on your data. So my advice is that really after submitting, work on it. It's like, just submit on time, whatever you have, the state of the job, the task that you have, submit it, but keep improving. Because if you see the whole thing is one project. It isn't like 5 projects. So one project that you are involving. From now on, yesterday, even from yesterday, you should plan, you should read the whole thing and see like, how am I going to, because on Wednesday, I'm required to submit the pipeline, like the design of like what I'm going to do. So from like, okay, there is this Twitter data, then there is this analysis kind of like pre-processing, as well as also some kind of modeling. And then there's going to be deployment, serving, and then there will be dashboard building. And I am expected to kind of produce the plan on Wednesday. If you are thinking it on Wednesday, you're not going to make it. The reason is because on Wednesday, you won't have enough time. But if you now read it from the day one, you read the material, you know where the resources are, then you'll be able to, on Wednesday, you have already thought about it, you've kind of read some references, or when you read something, you're already incorporated, then by Wednesday it gets easier. Today it gets easier if you have been planning yesterday about how you're going to do the analysis. So I hope that I am clear that the point isn't just about doing the day-by-day task, but also reading it, because we want the end-to-end ultimately. And if you, for power reason or internet reason, you kind of miss something, you can catch up, like, work hard, much harder probably than you would have done without it. So I think that's the spirit. I have seen some of you submitted just the fork, which is great, but that means you have to work a lot today to catch up because you haven't completed it. Some of you didn't even submit. I think a majority, probably half, didn't submit. That means you haven't done even just the forking. That means maybe you don't have GitHub. If you don't, it's much harder. Just try to catch up. If you have a challenge, put it in Rocket Chat. People will help you, right? So just be honest and just be really maximize the amount of learning, maximize the amount of progress you can have in 1 week. Surprise yourself. The things you thought you would not do, you really realize you can do it with the community. And that's why we really focus on a community, because we know in 1 week, it's just so much. The things that we ask you in 1 week is sometimes a semester work, right? So we know that. But, to compete with the world, because you're not going to be placed in where you are from, or in the kind of, we are going to be competing against the entire world, with people from India, people from the US, people from Europe, who have probably a much better background in everything from coding to discipline, and then you have to compete and win the job. And that is not an easy job. So you must motivate yourself, like, okay, unfortunately, you have to work harder than probably you expect. And you realize in 1 week, you surprise yourself. You kind of go from like, what is Git, to like, I am developing in Git, to like in 3 months, you're kind of like, I wrote my 12 dashboards. I have like, like I have done a full pipeline on machine learning, from Twitter analysis to banking to, like insurance to kind of machine failure detect, like all that thing. Just 3 months. It's just, even you haven't forgotten what was the questions that you have asked about, like, how does this thing work, to like, you are teaching it. So that's the progress that we are expecting, which means a lot of work. And that's why we stress, as Arun yesterday mentioned, the very simple mechanisms or kind of strategies to succeed is work hard and really, really benefit from the community, because you can't just work. You can't be like that alone. So embrace the community, learn from the community, and just be resilient, just be, persistent, just don't give up. We know that it's hard. It's much harder. The easiest and most rational thing to do is to give up. And the really good, like, if that is just, if you give up, I would say that's okay. That's expected. But are you just going to be expected and perform just as expected, or surprise yourself and just persist? And I guarantee you will realize in a few weeks that you basically just, like you've surprised, you have excelled your own expectation. And we have seen it. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because we have seen that. We have seen people almost giving up and coming up at the top at the end. So it isn't, just the current feeling sometimes is just overwhelming, but it's even written in the, in the description, right? You just read the challenge description, we wrote clearly what we expect, what is expected, the normal feeling, but just don't be bounded by the normal feeling, because it will go away and then you will be empowered, much more empowered than I expect. So I think that's my thing. And some of you finished already the task 1. Congratulations for that. Some of you have forked and just done only that part. Again, good. At least you've tried, you have understood the spirit. Some of you haven't submitted. That I would say is like slightly disappointing, because you should have just, the first task is just doesn't require anything. You should just come back and do it more this time. So today, so all the best, and we will be in Rocket Chat. So whatever you ask, you have seen it already. At least one person will reply to you quickly. So that means the community is there, alive, and just as if that is just beside you, in a physically more or less the same place, because we kind of react. We are reactive from the tutors and from the community side, as well as also everyone in Rocket Chat. So feel that, feel the vibe, feel just that you're not alone. Everybody's working and kind of will respond if you ask. So just keep asking. Great. So I'll just stop there and probably pass it. Huh? Okay. Christian, yeah, and Sagazab. So okay. So first Christian and then Sagazab.
Christian?
If not, we can go to Sagazab. And if your mic is not working, Sagazab, do you have your... You can unmute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. My question is, I got confused. My assumption was on yesterday's assignment, we would commit our changes and then push the code to our repository. Do we also upload the code files to some other interface when it's submitted? Do you mean just committing and pushing it, or did I miss something else?
No, you didn't. I think it's just that you change the code, you push the code to the GitHub, and the thing that you need to submit. So there is a submission, right? So it says like you should, in a Google class, there is GitHub submission, and you submit the GitHub link to the, so because that's how we know, like that's how we validate every day, who's doing what. So just to give you, it's like, this is, if you haven't seen it, I think I'm sure everybody has seen it. So, but like this is the, so this is the GitHub link week 0 task 1. This is in your Google Classroom, and you just go and then submit it. Just when, so that's what we mean. So hope that's clear.
Okay. Okay, I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, I have also sent the links to all the Rocket Chats on this chat. We have a lot of you, I think 99% already in the general Rocket Chat, but we have around 5 more. And these 5 are all especially there so that they can support you during this journey. So if you know you've not joined any of the other 5, please just click on the links and we'll find you on Rocket Chat. This is not the end of it. We still are on Rocket Chat to support you, and all the instructors and the rest of the team is also there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, great. So for Christian's question, I think Lawal answered it, so I'm not going to answer. Yeah, you must submit just the link from GitHub. So that's where we check. So yeah, have a good day, everyone.
bye, everyone.
Goodbye.